I feel that this family is pretty relatable to a lot of people out there. If not the whole package, but then at least different people individually. I mean, Jimmy's a guy who he didn't finish high school. He's working for his dad's company. He's a pretty good artist as far as like drawing things, and he's kind of trying to figure out where his life is going to be, actually, when we first meet him. And you can tell that he's looking for something else, something to kind of define who he is. And then when this baby drops in his lap, he's going to take that as the opportunity to kind of have a purpose in life. He's got his parents who I think, they met in high school. She got pregnant at 15, and I think it says a lot about them that they have stuck together since then. They've known not to have another child, so they didn't do that. But I think they love each other very much. They're hardworking people. He works at he has his own lawn business, and they do a few clients around town, and she works as a housekeeper. And I think they kind of live from week to week on their paychecks, but they're good, honest people, and they're lucky enough to have a crazy grandmother who has a house that's large enough for them all to live in and not have to pay rent on. And I think they're probably waiting for the day that she may kick the bucket and they could sell that place, but they got it pretty good right now. I think it's important for him to hold on to this baby probably for two reasons. One, I think he's searching for something in his life, and here's something that he can do that's worthwhile, And also, I think that for all the bad things his parents did to him growing up and how they might not have had a car seat for him or different things that they did that we're going to learn along the way, they're two people that she got pregnant at 15 and they stuck together and they kept that baby and they loved it and raised it and stuck by it. And I think that when you are brought up in that kind of atmosphere, then it's just kind of ingrained in you to do the same thing. It's an amazing cast. And for me, overall, everyone just plays it so real. I believe who everybody is at the end of the day. And sometimes with characters that I write, they can risk kind of being a little big and cartoony, and you need people that really ground it and you really believe as these people, and I do so with all these characters. Lucas is somebody that I saw on tape from Chicago, and the second I saw him, I just thought he had this kind of honesty and kind of a feeling of a guy that I totally believe is a little overwhelmed and just a good person, and it really came through on his audition tape, and I knew he was that guy. And Martha is somebody that just kind of she's just got balls about her, she just has like that kind of texture and depth that I believe her as the mom who kind of runs this household, for sure. And Garrett, I mostly had seen him in dramas, and then I saw him on tape also in New York doing the material, and I was amazed at all the little tiny things he found and ways to make things funny that weren't big pushing ways to get laughs, but just really small, subtle things that made the material so much better, and he continues to do that on set as well. Cloris, I had a part for Mama written, and I thought, well, why not just start at the top, see if we can get Cloris Leachman, and thank goodness, I got on the phone with her and we had a great conversation about it, and she liked the role, she liked the script, she said she wanted to be a part of it, and look, she's a hoot. She's fun to work with every day. And then of course Shannon, also somebody that you just feel has a lot of depth to them as an actress, and just you can kind of feel her power on screen, and she was somebody that I wanted from the beginning, and ultimately we had some conversations, and she also agreed to do it. So I got lucky. I got real lucky. Obviously, there's a lot more things that you got to worry about these days. I got computers all in my house, and they're hooked to the internet, and I got parent controls on all of them, and the TVs are set up with parental controls, and I couldn't in the middle of the day come home from school and turn on the TV and just boom, there'd be HBO on and some crazy thing happening in a movie. We had like 5 channels, and it was what it was. So yeah, there's challenges with that, but then, for the most part, it's the same old stuff. It's your kids getting picked on at school, and you got to deal with, that kind of thing. Or they throw a rock through the neighbor's window, and you got to deal with that. And those problems are age old, and they're going to be here forever. But I think that you just do the best you can. Keep on keeping on. We're going to do, a lot of stories are going to be about raising the baby, and how did his parents raise him, and what can he do differently, and finding out maybe sometimes what they did wasn't so bad after all once he actually experiences it himself and maybe tries to do it a different way, but realizes, hey, what they did maybe wasn't that bad, or what they did was horrible, and he's going to do it better this time. They're all kind of getting a second chance to do things a little differently. Also, the presence of the baby is going to bring up issues that normally wouldn't have got brought up. We're going to learn things about his relationship with his parents. We do an episode where he is trying to hide. He struggles with whether or not to hide some of the truths about the baby's mother to the baby eventually. And will he tell her, that she was a murderer and all these things? And in doing so, he finds out that his parents lied to him about a number of things. And so now, because this baby's in their world, these issues come up, and he needs to deal with that. And he learns in that story that maybe there are some things that you protect your kids from, and that's a hard part of parenting. We're also going to be tracking this relationship between Lucas and Shannon, Jimmy and Sabrina. And we're going to slowly kind of see if there's something to develop there. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on that. The whole boy wants girl scenario. I invented that. But it's an age-old story, but we're going to have some fun with it. And we're going to be seeing this baby get into a few predicaments along the way. We find out that Virginia is a hoarder, and she keeps all her stuff back in a greenhouse in the backyard, and it's just a cluster of crap back there. And at one point, the baby crawls into it and gets stuck, and they need to somehow coax this baby out of there. So it's going to be hopefully a combination of some fun visual gags, a lot of learning about these characters, and pushing the envelope a little bit, having some outrageous jokes and humor, hopefully, but also always trying to bring it back to like an emotional place, and hopefully everybody cares about this family.